But what happens when you and you and you and you have a generator that would fit on maybe this much of a table, that would completely run your house with no energy bill, no pollution. Once you buy it, it costs no more than a heat pump or air conditioning unit. And you have energy for your property for as long as the machine lasts, which if it's built well could be 100 years, 50 years. Wonderful, yes? Well, not for these people. It's wonderful for humanity, for Gaia, the Earth. But here's another issue. And this will make you a little uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. But there's a big element of racism in this paradigm. Because right now, those of us in Europe and America, which together may be 600 million people, in a planet with 7 billion, consume most of the planet's resources, and we have these wonderful air-conditioned halls and cars using petrol. But guess what? Now India and China, with 2.5 billion people, want to live like this. And so does Africa. And so does all over Asia and the islands. And why shouldn't they? And the impoverished areas of Central and South America. Why not? Here's the conundrum we are in. If all those people live like you and I do, using the current energy paradigm, long before we collapse the biosphere, we will be going to Mad Max under the Thunderdome, fighting and killing each other for the last barrel of oil. And so the economic system is set up to ensure 80% of the world is in poverty. And this is a crime not only against the earth we are killing, but humanity. So it is an act of compassion to say we must bring out these sciences and technologies along with the disclosure that we're not alone, and along with what CSETI is doing, CSETI.org, which is making diplomatic contact with these visitors to establish a foundation for universal peace, not just world peace. So these three projects are all going together. Now I'm going to focus right now for a little while on this energy question. What happens when every village in India and Africa can have such a device as I described? I've seen them operate. There's no question they do exist. We would like to bring one out. If we could do so, we're trying. Anybody who has one, let me know. Who's got the cojones, to do it. We'll go the distance if you will. Sorry. I'm very blunt. I'm emergency doctor, Americanos. Now, here's another point, is that if all these villages in Africa and India have this energy system, guess what? Where does geopolitical power come from? Not the number of people in your country. If that were true, China and India would be the most powerful countries in the world, not America and Europe. Geopolitical power comes from your economic and technological prowess. When we democratize these technologies and allow them to be available throughout the world, we will have to put a seat at the geopolitical table for the people of Africa, the people of India, the people of China, the people of Southeast Asia, the people of Central America, the people all around the world. And there are people who don't want to share that power. They like having it for themselves. This is really what the question is a very fundamental issue. Because if you allow these technologies to be known, within one generation, 20 years, the environment will be transformed. We will have a new macroeconomic system. The work week for the average person will fall to about 15 to 20 hours a week. Seriously. Manufacturing would become very inexpensive. And the world, this would be the tide that would lift all ships. But the centralized power system we have, based on super tankers bringing oil and central power plants burning coal or nuclear power or what have you, that system is centralized, but so is the metaphorical or the symbolic power of the geopolitical system. And all of that would change, tilt. It is the biggest change in the history of the human race. And if you added up everything from the mid-1800s with the dawn of the Industrial Revolution to today, Microsoft, computers, lasers, the internal combustion engines, rockets, jets, this disclosure and the bringing forward of these new energy technologies will eclipse all of them added together. It is breathtaking. And when I have sat with people who are very powerful, they say, oh yes. I'll tell you what an admiral said, who is in charge of CONUS, Continental United States, C-O-N-U-S. And he said, yes, you're absolutely right. This should come out. It should have never been kept secret. However, my job really has been maintaining the status quo of the world's oil supply and energy supply. It really is. And I don't want to deal with a change this big. I just want to retire and go fishing at my ranch in Wyoming. Now, these people put their pants on one leg at a time. And many of them don't want to take on such a huge issue. And when they have suggested it, then they're threatened. Let me tell you what happened to a former CIA director who really believed we were long past due for the truth. The truth. This is the subtitle of the conference here. Wonderful individual late in life, he kind of came around. You know, I believe all people. No, I know you cannot demonize people on this planet or anywhere else. Everyone is educable. Maybe I'm an optimist. But I believe that basically all of us have the spark of goodness within us and we can do the right thing. And so, through a lot of work, our group had been able to reach a lot of officials within this majestic entity. And one of them was a former CIA director named Bill Colby. And Bill Colby was getting up there in years. He was old. And he was a member of this group. He had concluded it was time to help us. So he agreed through a colonel who was his best friend, communicated to my team and said, look, we want to meet with you and we want to hand off one of these devices, fully operational, and about $50 million US in seed funding so you can get it stabilized and secure and out initially to the public. I said, good. The week that he was going to meet with us, they found Mr. Colby floating down the Potomac River, and he had been murdered. Yes, absolutely. His wife admitted as much to CNN. Now, nobody knew why this sudden taking out of a former CIA director, and it was never investigated as a murder. It was an accidental drowning. But it was a shot across the bow to others who would like to bring and defect from this group. And it scared a lot of them, including then President Clinton. I mean, he wasn't very brave, but he wasn't stupid either. I would prefer to be with someone who is intelligent and has courage, however. So after this happened, and we began to analyze what the dynamic of this was, it became very clear that we were going to have to do some more groundwork for this bringing out of not only the information, but the actual technologies that can give us a new civilization, a new Earth, a new planetary society here. And in the course of this analysis, we said first we've made the contact, and this is now ongoing, as you've heard yesterday. It is amazing, and it's going up exponentially in the last 6 months. We have to do disclosure. That's been done. People say, when is disclosure going to happen? I said 80% of the public already know this is real. It's just a matter of now the official government's putting their stamp on it. And believe me, the official governments always lag behind us, the people. They're the lagging indicator, not the leading indicator. We in this room are the leaders of this. All of you.